With my hockey players in the summer, we spend a lot of time working on the field, on the track, and we're working on a number of different aspects of fitness for hockey. We're not focused on sprinting technique as you would with a sprinter, or even maybe perhaps a football player, a wide receiver, somebody like that. But we're still working on acceleration. We're working on quickness, changes of direction. The fact that it's not on the ice and it's not with skates on and it's not ultra specific can actually be a benefit, because there's a cross-training effect and there's a conditioning effect by having them perform those same or similar types of movements on a different surface. Our warm-ups are usually as long or sometimes even longer than the actual workout. But here we can see Tyler doing some dynamic flexibility work. So basically what he's doing is he's just moving through different movement patterns that he would do on the ice or in the workout that he's going to do in the gym at a very slow, controlled rate, and really emphasizing hip mobility. So opening up the hips, loosening up the hip flexors and the quadriceps, and getting some mobility in his hips so that he'll be able to have a better range of motion either when he's lifting weights or when he's on the ice skating. Our backward running drill is an integral part of our warm-up. It's something that we do with all the hockey players, not just the defensemen, who actually do spend a lot of time skating backwards, but with everyone. And it's not necessarily speed as they go backwards, but it's a great exercise to open up the hips. Hockey players at all levels that I work with tend to develop chronically tight hip flexors and poor posture. So the backward running drill is a fantastic warm-up and activation exercise to open up their hips and get them ready to move on the field. We use weighted sleds a lot in the training that I do with hockey players, and we use them for a variety of reasons, and we use them in different ways. So sometimes the weights are relatively light, and we're sprinting as fast as we can with just a little bit of extra resistance so that we're still maintaining good sprinting mechanics with a little bit of overload just to emphasize speed training. Some days we go extremely heavy and we do dragging of the sled, but even if you see the posture, you'll see that even though the weight is really, really, really heavy on the sled and they're moving slowly, it's taking them a lot of time to cover the ground, the body position that they're in looks very, very similar to the acceleration position that they'd be in if they were doing a sprint. So the slow sled drags build strength in the legs in a very functional way, and they also emphasize good acceleration mechanics. Explosive leg power is possibly the most important element of being a fast skater, and one way that we develop that here in the gym is by doing explosive squat jumps. We're using a device called the trap bar or a hex bar. It's a great device for athletes that maybe can't perform a back squat or don't like to perform a back squat, or they have an injury limitation that prevents them from ideally or optimally performing a back squat. So we can use the trap bar or hex bar to perform these jumps. We can load them up and increase our explosive leg power, which will help these guys to be faster skaters on the ice.